trying to start it,
Uh-huh.
it took a long time. It was very, very slow and painful at the beginning. And then it was as if the little writer self inside my head was able to take over and say, this is how you do it. And I let him take charge. And then it got easier to write. My view is that, yes, of course, there are people who actually are victims, and I could describe myself as the victim of a knife attack because I was. But I want to be somebody who is less passive. Victim is a very passive idea. It's a victim is a person to whom things are done. I want to also be somebody who does things. So victim is not sufficient as a description. What I felt is, in writing this book, that I was, if you like, between two forces. One was a force of hatred and death, and one was a force of love and healing. And these two characters were the other two characters in the book, Eliza and him. They represent those forces, if you like. And since I was lucky enough to not die, I can say that the force of love defeated the force of hatred. And that's what I think she is in this book. She embodies that power. And she was just extraordinary in the way she took control of the situation. That she never left me alone for 5 minutes. She slept on a bench in the window of the hospital room. Everybody had to answer to her. The doctors had to explain to her what was happening. The police had to explain to her. The FBI had to go through her. She was in charge. Everything that needed to be done in the way of security and so on, she just took control of everything. And she would not ever show me her sorrow. In June of this year, I will be 77 years old. And 77 is the age my father was when he died. So it's always a powerful moment when you become older than your father. And it shows you that the time remaining is limited. So the question is how best to use the time. And I think the answer is don't waste your time. Pay attention to what matters. I mean, I actually was joking with my friends that we should begin to plan my 100th birthday, and that it should obviously be a dance party. So we're working on that. We're working on who should be the DJ. No, I'm more familiar with it than before. I mean, we got quite well acquainted. And no, I mean, I would prefer for it not to happen for a while. But what I actually feel is that I should have died. And so I'm lucky to be alive. And all the time I now have is like good fortune. Like every day is good fortune. And that's my attitude. However many days there are, they all feel like a blessing, feel like I'm lucky to have them.